Students, wow! Most of you are growing, learning, and existing in a very complex time period. But young adults have experienced tough times before. Like in the late 1930s and early 1940s, students your age were dealing with an actual war in Europe and in other parts of the world. Many schools were moved to the countryside away from large cities to save lives. Nevertheless, I'm sure it was a challenge for those students. Actually, some American students today live in neighborhoods that rival a war setting. So again, tough times are not necessarily new to the earth. But right now, aside from the pandemic, the question and topic of race is everywhere, and it's adding to the complexity of things. Race is real, and it always has been. People see skin color, and people are treated a certain way because of their skin color. The issues that we see involving a lack of equity and social justice, I argue strongly these are largely based on race and skin color. Even more so or worse, it's the meaning that has been assigned to the different races and skin colors. Like black means this, brown means that, white means this. Some believe all disenfranchised people have a choice, somehow making them accountable for the bad things that are happening to them. That's not always true. There seems to be a very upsetting pattern that is occurring. This situation is concerning for many people, but as a black man, as a person of color, it's definitely concerning. But I'm hopeful that we are helping a new generation, mainly you, to assign different meaning to race within the human race that's founded in love, kindness, respect, and responsibility, despite skin color. I wish we could depend on the adults, the ones that are in positions of authority, to improve this situation, but there's this thing called history, and that keeps me skeptical. So as a school principal, I think we should invest in you, our youth. It's always the right time for the right work. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, but this is why social emotional learning is so important. We all have a choice on how we can respond to this ugliness. Students, I caution you to limit the amount of negative media you subject yourselves to. The media like YouTube and other platforms, they need us to watch because advertisers pay them millions. So while they become wealthier, we become bogged down with anger, fear, resentment, hopelessness. We actually become cynical about what we're seeing. In some ways, it becomes like a mini-series or reality TV, which is not really reality. And I'm guilty as charged. I have traveled down many rabbit holes watching YouTube. I would like this topic of race to be addressed in a way that helps us change the way it's handled, perceived, and constructed. How can you help? Well, we can all start by replacing judgment and criticism. Replace looking for what's wrong with other people by showing kindness and respect, regardless of someone's color. I personally don't respect people who are breaking the law, hurting communities, selling drugs, things like that. But I will likely show them respect. There is a difference. Specialized schools community, make a decision. If we're all on the same page, we are stronger and we can be the change that we want to see. I don't know if Dr. King or even Bruce would say that we've made adequate progress in this area. Please take a few minutes to read through the newsletter in its entirety. I appreciate your time. I know it's valuable. Make it a great weekend.